Hello and welcome to this video on the pre-full moon, your moon magic video, or on the I don't know which one is better, but your moon magic video on the pre-full moon. So, as you can tell, as you may have noticed, behind me is always this like wolf coat. And it is literally my favorite time of the month. The full moon comes, the energy is rising. This pre-full moon time is literally my favorite time. Like I can feel the energy rising. I feel all the emotions coming within me. And so let's look at like what we can actually do right now, what this time is for. If you are brand new to my world and you're like dropping into this live, or not live, this video, and you're like, oh, who's this person? So this will be a video all about moon magic, mainly around the pre-full moon. So this is your moon like cycle magic that is guiding you up to the full moon, the things that you should be doing. And yeah, some little practices that you can do every pre-full moon, and yeah, to help you at this time. This is to help you stay in your power, okay? Like this is to help, the way I talk about this is to help you to stay in your power. This is to help you manifest and heal and yeah, but stay in your power really. So if you've never met me before, my name is Natasha. I'm a psychic healer and business mentor and pretty hot manifestation coach as well. Everything manifestation. And if you listen to this live or this video, sorry, I do lives as well, so it's really, really difficult if I'm a video or I'm a live. So if you watch this video and you're like, I want to go deeper with moon magic, I have the energy vortex, okay, which is attuning to the moon for manifestation and healing. And it covers everything in there. Like the things that I say in here, there will actually be guided like healing sessions, guided rituals, guided ceremonies, all at the different stages. So the pre-full moon stage for me is a time of grounding in gratitude. It's a time of holding yourself in love and holding your vision high, okay? Because as the energies are starting to rise, you might feel like if we're not grounding ourselves in gratitude and holding ourselves in love, what can happen is we get too much. We have too much feminine energy flowing with us and our emotions go haywire. So we ground ourselves. And this for me is the most important time you can really focus on grounding yourself in gratitude, holding yourself in love. For me, this is a time to connect with the elements. So getting outside in nature, spending some time away from your phone, spending some time away. Like if you were, and this is one thing that I do, is I try and take like time off. Like there's a week when I'll take time off. It's always over the full moon, or at least a long weekend off. I take a long weekend off every month, okay? Like full weekend off, and it's always the full moon, okay? Or all the week and this week, like I don't have much planned in for this week, and that's intentional because it's leading up to the full moon. Now I know if you've got jobs you can't do this, but it just means that you probably need to just bring awareness to your emotions a bit more, give yourself a lot of self-love, maybe not planning any activities, just give yourself time and space, because like I say, the feminine energy is really rising, so it'll be calling a lot of emotions to the surface. It will be calling a lot of things from, maybe things from your past. It'll be illuminating a lot of your shadows, which for me, like, we don't do anything in this time with this. This is like, you start to bring awareness to the things that the full moon is illuminating. Once we've gone past the full moon and the energy has lowered a little bit, we start looking at like doing the healing work and the releasing work, okay? So right now it's just almost like you're watching things come up and you're like, oh, this is coming up, okay, so we need to do some healing work around this. And it's like you're honoring things, but you're just allowing it to all flow through you. You're not trying to like stop that so you can look at this. You're just allowing things to come up. Just get a book and just write it all down, okay? Write everything down that is being illuminated. Now I don't tend to write things down so much now in the pre-full moon, but I know in the beginning of my journey, like a lot came up, so I did write it down. Now there's only normally like one or two things that come up, and it's like and so it's not, no, I don't get this rush of things flowing through me, which is like an emotions, and Disney's looking at, like, it's just one or two things. So it calms right down. So know that in the beginning of your journey, you can feel a little bit like this stage can feel the most overwhelming, is this run up to the full moon. And so what there, get a book, write it all down. We're not trying to do any deep healing work now. Like, the energy's too high for that. So just allow things to come through, write it all down, honor it for what it is. Don't make it mean anything. Just let it all flow through you. The same with your emotions. You're just going to allow these emotions to flow through you. You're going to feel them and you know, not make them mean anything, not attach any stories to them. You're just going to allow yourself. So whether it's crying, it's anger, it's like just literally ecstatic joy, like allow yourself to feel it all, that sexual tension that'll be rising within you. And whether you are like, it doesn't matter what cycle you have. So maybe you bleed at the full moon, you'll still get really like, you know, your sexual energy, you'll get really horny, your sexual energy will rise at the full moon. And the same, like, even if you bleed at the new moon, your sexual energy will probably go through the roof at full moon. Mine does, no matter whether I bleed at the new moon or the full moon. And like, my sexual energy is always risen. And yes, I do switch. I literally, every equinox, I switch. So I'm a full moon bleeder through the winter. And then when I go into spring equinox, I literally flip and I'm a new moon bleeder. And then we've just hit the autumn equinox for me on my side of the world. So we've just hit the equinox again, and I've just flipped, and I will be bleeding on the full moon. I know it because I'm late. So I will be bleeding on the full moon. And literally that happens every year. Okay, so on your cycles as well, like get really, see if you are like, if you're listening to this and you've never like attuned yourself or your cycles to the full moon, like have a look. Do you bleed at new moon? Do you bleed at full moon? Or are you somewhere in the middle? Like, what's going on? Like, notice that and honor that as well, because your cycles and the moon are really important to understand. And then you actually, you know what, you actually get really, you'll have so much more power. If you attune your cycles to the moon, you can then literally be like, oh, I'm ovulating that weekend, or I should be ovulating. And then you just know when you can have sex and when you can't. Literally, the moon is I've used the moon now for, I'm like, when I'm over there, I lock myself away. It's actually like normally when you're like the most, your sexual energy is like higher when you're ovulating. I'm like, I'm locking myself away this weekend. We cannot go out. So, it does get a bit like that though, sometimes. So, yeah, honor your cycles, honor where you are, really check in with your cycles. Like I say, if you're in the energy vortex, we'll be doing this in much more detail. You will have how to feel your emotions, how to harness your emotions for your manifestations. So because this is a time, this is not a time, as well as feeling everything and letting it all flow through you, you can actually like harness your emotions and channel them all towards your vision. So again, like I said in the beginning, this is a time for you to hold that vision high. And this is all I want you to really be doing on this week, is just holding that vision high, grounding yourself in so much gratitude for where you've come, everything that you've been through, all that's happening right now, all that's happened. Like, just ground yourself in so much gratitude for everything around you, the past, the present, the future. And when I say ground yourself in gratitude, it's literally you feel gratitude flowing through your body. You're holding your vision high up there. And then, like I say, you're holding yourself in so much love, no matter what, even if it gets really turbulent, you hold yourself in so much love. And you hold that vision high, and you're like, you can channel all of this energy to your vision. So whether you experience anger can turn to passion, like, and you're just channeling this to your vision, and you're holding it there. Now, like I say, in the energy vortex, which is a course, and there will be a link to this course, I will be able to hold you to that. We'll do some like a ritual, some meditations. There will be a core dissolving ceremony as well, because that's sometimes a really good thing to do around pre-full moon, is just to see all the cores dissolving around your heart. You know, anything that might have attachment to you, just see cords dissolving, just give yourself a little refresh. It's almost like see any cords dissolving, especially if, like, you know, if you find emotions are really struggling to move through you, it's like dissolve the cords. And maybe there's you know, dissolving the cords on that inner child. Like for me, one of the things I have done is like that inner child that's always shouting, no, 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 no. It's like dissolve the cords from her. Put her somewhere safe, dissolve the cords on her. So there will be a dissolve the cord ceremony. There'll be an anger release. You've got how to feel emotions, how to harness your emotions and channel them to your manifestation. So there's a lot in the energy vortex which goes deeper into some of the things that I've said in here. But so the main thing for you to do around the pre-full moon, like I say, is really hold yourself in gratitude, ground yourself in gratitude, and allow yourself time and space out in nature to really feel, because we can't ground if we were constantly inside. So we've got to get out in the fresh air, we've got to connect with the elements to actually ground fully. So whether that is just, you know, going for a walk, you know, going by a water, getting your feet in the ground, walking in a garden, you know, however you choose to do this, you know, when you're there, do the ground in gratitude and hold your vision high every single day. So for me, like the moon right now is getting bigger and bigger. So like, I want you to just envision like you're putting your vision there in your third eye, and like it's growing and expanding with all the emotions that are coming through, with all the energy that you're feeling. Just channel it to that really beautifully. And that for me is like your pre-full moon. That is your pre-full moon. That's exactly what is happening. The energy is rising. So use this energy, utilize this energy. If you're, like I say, if it's feeling rather turbulent, know that the more you attune to the moon, like the better it gets. So make this a ritual for you. Check it. The energy vortex is only 111. So 111 euros. And you have so much in there. Like I say, it's from healing, from attuning to the moon, and healing and manifestation. So, grounded in gratitude, holding yourself in love, holding that vision high, checking in with what's being illuminated, writing it all down, holding that vision high, and then channeling all that energy and all this extra vibrant energy that you're collecting. If it's sexual or anything, make sure you're channeling it all to the full moon, not to your vision. All that full moon energy, all this energy that's rising from the full moon, you're going to channel that into your vision, and that is your moon magic for the pre-full moon. So there will obviously be one of these for the full moon. There will also be there is one for every single stage. So if this is the first one you've come across, there's actually one for all of, well, when I say all of the stages, I've done dark moon, new moon, first quarter, pre-full moon, full moon, afterglow, last quarter. So there's 7. I think that was right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I've got them written down here. I'll tick them all as I'm doing them. I'm ticking them all. So there is 7. So go find some of the other ones if you want some things to do. And yeah, join me in the energy vortex if you want to learn the ceremonies and the practices and the rituals to actually attune to the moon for manifestation and healing.